Are you hyped for the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra? You might want to hold that thought. Based on the latest Galaxy S26 Ultra leaks, Samsung's next ultimate flagship could actually be one of 2025's biggest disappointments. We're talking about missing features that competitors already offer, the same old 5,000 mAh battery we've had for years, and a major push toward AI instead of meaningful hardware upgrades that actually improve your daily experience. In this video, I'm breaking down everything we know so far about the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Release expectations, leaked specs, the controversial missing Qi2 magnets, the unchanged battery, the design tweaks, and why this phone might not be worth upgrading to if you already own a Galaxy S24 Ultra or even an S23 Ultra. Let's start with what might be the most surprising letdown. No built-in magnets for Qi2 wireless charging on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. If you've used an iPhone with MagSafe, you know exactly why magnetic wireless charging matters. You just snap your phone onto the charger, and it locks into the perfect spot every time. No fiddling around to find the sweet spot. No waking up to realize your phone slid off the pad and never charged. It's simple, reliable, and it's becoming a standard. Now, Google has joined in with the Pixel 10 series, which reportedly includes Qi2 magnets as well. So you'd think that Samsung, with its most expensive flagship phone, would finally jump on board with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. They even released a magnetic wireless power bank, which looked like a clear signal that their phones would start supporting proper built-in magnets. After all, what's the point of a magnetic accessory if your own flagship can't use magnets natively? But according to multiple reliable Samsung leakers, including Ice Universe on X, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will definitely not have built-in Qi2 magnets. He even said this information is 100% accurate. Instead, Samsung is reportedly going with a workaround, selling special cases that have magnetic rings built into them. On paper, that might sound like a compromise. In reality, it creates a bunch of problems for users. First, you'll have to buy an extra case just to take full advantage of Qi2 magnetic accessories. That's more money on top of an already expensive phone. Second, those magnetic cases are thicker. Extra thickness means some accessories won't align as well or hold as securely, especially cheaper third-party chargers and mounts. Third, the fact that Samsung is selling both magnetic and non-magnetic cases tells us something important. This is not a native system-level feature. It's an optional add-on. Compare that to Apple, where every modern iPhone has MagSafe built into the phone itself, and Apple doesn't even sell non-MagSafe cases because they break the experience. Simply put, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is not truly a Qi2 magnetic device. It's pretending to be one only when you add Samsung's accessories. Now let's move to another area that's just as disappointing. The Galaxy S26 Ultra battery. Multiple leaks point to the S26 Ultra sticking with the same 5,000 mAh battery capacity. That's the same size we've seen in Samsung flagships again and again, going back several generations. On paper, 5,000 mAh doesn't sound bad, but the problem is that the rest of the industry is moving forward. Companies like Honor and Xiaomi are already using silicon-carbon battery technology in some of their devices. This newer tech allows for larger effective capacity, better battery life, and sometimes faster charging, all without making the phone thicker or heavier. Samsung, on the other hand, appears to be playing it safe. With the Galaxy S26 Ultra, they're reportedly sticking to the traditional 5,000 mAh lithium-ion setup we've had since around 2021. Yes, leaks say Samsung is finally increasing the wired charging speed to around 60 W, which is definitely an improvement over their older 45 West cap. But let's be honest, faster charging only helps when your battery is already low. It doesn't solve the underlying issue of how long the phone can last on a single charge during a heavy day of use. In 2025, on a premium Ultra phone, you'd Expect either a bigger battery, a more advanced battery chemistry, or both. Instead, we're getting the same 5,000 mAh capacity with mostly incremental efficiency gains from the chipset and software. Now, to be fair, the Galaxy S26 Ultra isn't all bad news. Let's go over the rest of the leaked specs and design changes. So you have the full picture. The S26 Ultra is expected to feature a 6.9-inch display, slightly larger than the previous generation. One of the standout additions here is Samsung's new privacy screen technology. This uses AI to control individual pixels and dynamically adjust viewing angles, making it harder for people next to you to peek at your screen. It's enough. Interesting idea for privacy-conscious users, especially in public places like trains, planes, and offices. Under the hood, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will reportedly be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, at least in many regions. So in terms of raw performance and efficiency, you can expect a solid jump over the S24 Ultra. Apps will open faster, gaming will be smoother, and AI tasks will run more efficiently on device. For the camera system, the leaks suggest a familiar but capable setup: a 200MP main sensor, a 50MP ultra-wide camera, a 10MP telephoto lens, a 50MP periscope zoom lens on the front. We're looking at a 12MP selfie camera. On the design side, Samsung is reportedly switching from separate floating camera lenses to a pill-shaped camera island, similar to what we've already seen on devices like the Galaxy Z Fold 7. The corners of the S26 Ultra are said to be more rounded than the sharp, boxy look of the S25 Ultra, which might make it more comfortable to hold. The phone is also rumored to be slightly thinner and lighter, thickness dropping from about 8.2 millimeters to 7.9 millimeters, weight reduced to around 214 grams. These are welcome tweaks, but let's be honest, they're not groundbreaking. This feels more like a Galaxy S25 Ultra S kind of update than a truly new generation. So why is Samsung skipping built-in Qi2 magnets when Apple and Google are already embracing the standard on their flagships? One likely reason: the S Pen. The Galaxy S26 Ultra, just like previous Ultra models, is expected to keep the built-in S Pen stored inside the phone's body. And here's the catch: strong internal magnets can interfere with how the S Pen interacts with the digitizer layer under the display. There have already been user reports in the past where external magnets from cases, mounts, or covers caused the touchscreen to misregister inputs or the S Pen to behave strangely. Lines might curve, taps might misfire, and the stylus accuracy can drop. If Samsung were to add strong Qi2 magnetic rings directly into the frame of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, they'd risk messing with the S Pen experience, one of the key selling points of the Ultra line. So instead, they're taking the safer route: keep magnets out of the phone itself and push them into optional cases. That way, the core S Pen experience stays consistent, and only people who really want magnetic charging or mounting will opt into those potential trade-offs. The problem is that this creates a frustrating compromise. If you want to use the S Pen in the most reliable way, you'll probably end up with a non-magnetic case or a very minimal one. If you want to use Qi2 magnetic chargers, stands, and accessories, you'll need a special magnetic case that may mess with how the S Pen behaves, especially near the edges. In other words, S26 Ultra users might be forced to choose between a flawless S Pen experience and full-featured magnetic accessory support. That's not a choice you should have to make on a top-tier flagship in 2025. Now, let's look at the design leaks. Well-known leakers like Evan Blass have already shared what appear to be official press renders of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, including a purple variant. These images confirm the new pill-shaped camera island, the softer corners, and the overall look of the device. But when you really study those renders, it's hard to get truly excited. The changes are subtle, incremental, and very familiar. If you put an S24 Ultra and an S26 Ultra side by side on a table, Most people would struggle to tell them apart at a quick glance.